Committed to you and our community, to be sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live at Cumberland Valley High School for the very last PIAA state championship game. A game that's going to be played between the North Allegheny Tigers and the St. Joseph Press Hawks. St. Joe's is the perennial state championship contender. Our broadcast today is brought to you by St. Luke's. St. Luke's is the official healthcare provider for sports medicine here at the championship games. I want to thank Coach Com. Coach Com creating great communications for coaches all over the country. Got to thank Safer Sports. Safer Sports is creating beautiful helmet covers that save our kids from concussions, and they can be worn during a game. Ladies and gentlemen, safersports.com. We want to thank Turf Tank for being a sponsor on this broadcast. Turf Tank, if you have grass fields, you need a Turf Tank. Turf Tank can save you hundreds of hours and give you quality lines on your field. Also got to thank Sports Paradise. Kevin James, contact him. He can help you put uniforms on any of your teams, whether you're a church league softball team or a high school football team or a college football team. Kevin James is your man. Contact Kevin James and ask him about their sublimated uniforms. And finally, I want to thank the Funding Zone. The Funding Zone raises money for all sports programs or any program that you might have. If you need to raise some cash to purchase some of those things we talked about earlier, contact the guys at the Funding Zone. They'll help you do your thing. Right now, I'm going to take it down to the field live with Shane and Phil. So Shane and Phil, take it away.
Okay, this is Phil Myers. We're live from the CHAP home field of the Cumberland Valley Eagles high school football team. And tonight is the final game of this 6-game weekend series of state championships games. This is the big one, the 6A game between the North Allegheny Tigers and the St. Joe's Preps Hawks. And Shane, what do you think tonight? This is my co-host here, Shane Lux. And what do you think of the thoughts on the game tonight? What do you think?
Well, I think for North Allegheny, what a ride for them to be here, to be in the 6A title game. A lot of people thought maybe we would see Pittsburgh Central Catholic here, especially after the way that regular season game turned out. But I'll tell you what, the Tigers, they got hot at the right time. They turned the tables on the Vikings in the WPIAL championship, and they got by Harrisburg last week in the semifinals, and I know they're thrilled to be here. I'm sure that Art Walker's going to have his guys ready to go.
Yeah, that's right, and they did. They lost the regular season game to Central Catholic. It wasn't even close. They turned things around. What I understand, the turnover difference was a big reason they lost the first game and won the second game. But who are some of the stars for North Allegheny? Who should we look for?
Well, I really think you're going to see the running back, Tyree Alualu for North Allegheny, has nearly 900 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns. I think he's going to really have to carry the ball well for them. The offensive line's going to have to block well. And Logan Kushner as well, the quarterback, let's not forget, he's a 1,000 player, has over 1,600 yards passing, 1,300 rushing, has 46 total offensive touchdowns. And I really think for the Tigers, it's going to be about ball control. On the offensive line, they need to try to win the battle at the line of scrimmage. They have to be able to try to limit St. Joe's possessions, move the football, and finish those drives off with touchdowns. You're not going to beat the Hawks by kicking field goals in this game. And you look at the offensive line, you have a guy like Cameron Chimura, who's going to Marshall. You have Lincoln Hoke, the son of former Pittsburgh Steeler Chris Hoke, on that offensive line. They're big, they're physical, and that's what they're going to need to do. And the biggest key, and you saw this when they played Central Catholic, like you mentioned in the regular season, a couple of turnovers there at the end of the first half allowed that game to get out of hand. In the second game, they won the turnover battle. They were able to turn it into a victory. So North Allegheny, I think it's going to have to be ball control, and they're going to have to win the turnover battle to be able to stay in this game. If they can stay competitive through 3 quarters and give them a chance in the fourth, who knows? It's anybody's ball game.
That's right. And on the other side of the coin, you have St. Joe's Prep. whose only loss this year was to IMG Academy from Florida, 17-14. IMG is ranked number 4. Well, guess what? St. Joe's is ranked number 7 or number 9 in the country, whichever poll you like to look at. And St. Joe's is led by Samaj Jones, their quarterback, who's an outstanding quarterback, and he's a dual threat quarterback. He can run just as well as he can throw. He's a University of Cincinnati commit. And one of his wide receivers, David Washington, I'm not saying he's as good as the Noah Harrison that's at Ohio State, but keep your eyes on him. He may be one of the best players on the field. All in all, they have 19 guys that have at least one Division I offer. So you got practically the whole team D1 guys. They're not ranked number 7 or 9 for nothing. And on defense, you have Anthony Sacco with Penn State relation there, his dad. He's only a junior, but he is a big kid. He's fast, he's physical. And they have Emilio Agard, who is a cornerback, and he is slated to go to Wisconsin, another one to keep an eye on defense. And talk about your physical teams. Their offensive line averages 6'2.5", 295 pounds. So as big as North Allegheny is, St. Joe's Prep is bigger. But you know what? Anything can happen. That's why they play the game. And we'll be back at halftime to let you know what's going on in the first half. But it should be a really good game. And if North Allegheny goes to game plan, it might be a tighter game than people think.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe it's been over a decade since the Tigers were here.
That's
2012 was the last time, that big win over Coatesville, and you know they're going to be ready to play. And Art Walker's going to have his guys. He's going to put together a great game plan and put them in the best position to try to come out with a victory tonight. But it's certainly not going to be easy.
Right, that's right. And St. Joe's Prep, they seem to be here almost every year. They don't always win. They've been beat before. So let's hope it's a good game, and we'll talk to you at all at halftime.
Okay.
All right, Shane and Phil, thanks a lot, Pro Time, for that pregame report. Pregame report, again, was brought to you by Safer Sports, creating helmet covers for our football players to keep them safer from concussions and other head injuries. They're NFHS approved. You can wear them in games. I want to thank Turf Tank. If you have grass fields, you need a Turf Tank to save you hundreds and hundreds of hours and give you quality lines on your fields. We got to thank Sports Paradise and Kevin James. Kevin James is the guy to contact if you need uniforms, if you've got a church league softball team, or professional or semi-pro, any kind of league you have, any game, Kevin can get you uniforms in a hurry. Ask him about his sublimated products. I want to thank Coach Com. Coach Com is creating great communications for coaches all across the nation. If you need communicate, you need Coach Com. Got to thank St. Louis Sports Medicine. They are the official healthcare provider for the PIAA State Championship games here in Cumberland Valley. They're also a great sponsor on our website. And finally, I got to thank the Funding Zone. If you need money for your team, if you got to raise some cash in a hurry, or if you want to take your time and raise some cash, you need Funding Zone. The Funding Zone can help you raise money in record amounts in a hurry. Contact the guys at the Funding Zone if you need anything. And with, of course, all of these sponsors, you can get information on how to use them right on our website, pafootballnews.com. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our pregame report. We'll be back to give you a halftime report. Enjoy the game. All right, everybody, we're back live for our halftime report between the game between St. Joe's Prep and North Allegheny. It's been a competitive game. St. Joe's has the lead, but just to remind you, this broadcast is brought to you by SaferSports.com, St. Luke Sports Medicine, Coach Com, The Funding Zone, Sports Paradise with Kevin James, and Turf Tank. Right now, we're going to take you down live to Shane and Pro Time on the field. So take it away, guys.
This year,
Okay, this is Phil Myers live with Shane Lux, and we're at halftime of the North Allegheny St. Joe's game, and it's going about as expected. St. Joe's is leading 37-10. They're just a very, very strong team, Shane.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they were as advertised in that first half. I mean, we talked about the talent, from Savon Jones to Isaiah West, just everybody, all the other players. I mean, Anthony Sacco, we saw with an interception. I mean, the talent is off the charts, and they showed it there in that first half.
Yeah, they first couple drives, they just drove down the field. I know the one drive was 12 plays, and then all of a sudden they had some quick strikes. It was just unbelievable. A couple long runs, a short pass that turned into an 80-yard touchdown.
Well, that's part of what makes St. Joe's Prep so dominant, is they prove that, hey, we can come out, we can go on a 12-play scoring drive, and we are also capable of going 80 yards in one play. And just like you say, when you have a quarterback like Jones and you got the playmakers that they have, you can play any game that anybody wants to play, and you saw that. Right,
and North Allegheny, I mean, they're moving the ball offensively. Logan Kushner's all that been advertised, and he's kind of slippery out there, and they come down and score and make the game, 24-7, and then one play later, St. Joe's is up 31-7, and it's hard. It's a deflating feeling to have somebody like that, but talk about North Allegheny. I mean, offensively, they've been playing good, and defensively, 47 has been all that's advertised, too.
Sure, they have. And you know what? It was really in that second quarter, I thought you really started to see North Allegheny get some offensive rhythm. Their first quarter didn't have a whole lot. Second quarter, like you say, Kushner started to get his legs involved a little bit. He found Kyron Boyd on a couple of passes. And, Alu didn't have a lot of carries, but he had a couple nice runs. I think he caught a pass out of the backfield. Like you say, Kushner was able to get a 5-yard touchdown run, and you know what? For the Tigers, they were able to give themselves something to build on there. But I mean, they just ran into a juggernaut.
Right, now they'll get the second half kick if they can get down and make it a 3-score game. You never know. You get a turnover. There's always hope, and it's weirder things have happened. But when you're playing the number 7 team in the country, it's hard to come back from a 37-10 halftime. But I know Art Walker Jr. is going to have these kids coming out and playing like it's a 0-0 again in the second half.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, I mean, when you look at what St. Joe's has done, especially in the playoffs up to this point, games are 49-56-0 right now. I mean, for North Allegheny, I mean, you say, well, you're down 27 points, but you know what? I mean, when you look at some of the scores they've been putting up, you say that's not, I mean, I know Art Walker, he doesn't believe in moral victories, but you would say, you know what, we played them better than really anybody has in the state tournament up to this point. Like you said, they have some building blocks. As they're going to get the second half kick here. Who knows? Stranger things have happened.
That's right. And on the St. Joe's side, Tim Roken, he's got to just tell those kids to just keep playing ball and not do anything goofy or get carried away or take things for granted because, again, North Allegheny is a very good team or they wouldn't be here.
And I'm sure his, Roken's message will be finish.
Right.
Finish. They've been building this all year. They've been expected to be here, expected to win it. Now it's time to go out and play that final 24 minutes and get that state championship trophy.
Okay. All right. For Shane Lux, this is Phil Myers signing off. There'll be an after-the-game, post-game talk about what happened in the second half and overall coverage of the game, and we'll see you then.
All right. Thanks a lot, Shane and Phil. Hey, due to logistics and what's going on with the press box, we will not be able to bring you a post-game wrap-up show. However, you can tune in to pafootballnews.com, and we'll have complete game coverage, wrap-up articles of the game between North Allegheny and St. Joe's Prep. Our sponsors for the entire weekend here at Cumberland Valley are SaferSports.com. SaferSports.com, providing our players with helmet covers that protect them and help keep concussions away. They are NFHS approved. You can wear them in a game. I want to thank Turf Tank for being a sponsor for this entire weekend. Turf Tank is just a wonderful sponsor. And Turf Tank, if you've got grass fields, you need a Turf Tank. I'm telling you right now, it'll save you hundreds and hundreds of hours. You'll get precision lines. I want to thank Kevin James and Sports Paradise for being a sponsor of this weekend's coverage. Kevin James can get you any uniform you want for your teams, whether you have a softball team, a baseball team, or a church league basketball team. Kevin James is your hookup. Ask him about their sublimated products. I got to thank Coach Com for being a weekend sponsor. Coach Com is one of our best sponsors on our website. Coach Com creates better communication for coaches all over the country. I got to thank St. Luke's for being a sponsor today. St. Luke's Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine group for the PIAA championships. And, of course, we always have to thank the Funding Zone. The Funding Zone is the #1 fundraising company in the country. If you need money for a program, whether you're a basketball program, baseball, football, or if you're a church league softball team, get with the Funding Zone. They'll help you raise record amount of money. For now, this is Billy Swain from PA Football News. This is our last football game of the year. I want to thank everybody for tuning into our website. I want to thank everybody for participating in our polls, and I really want to thank all of my staff for being a part of our production here at PA Football News. At PA Football News, we got you covered.
At PAFootballNews.com, we've got you covered. If you're looking for the best coverage of high school football in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, check out PAFootballNews.com. From schedules to rankings, game coverage to Friday night scoreboard, live streams, and more, PA Football News is the one-stop shop for everything high school football in Pennsylvania. Follow us on Twitter at PAFootballNews and visit us at PAFootballNews.com. We got you covered.